When K-pop fans think of JYP girl groups, the mega-talented and highly awarded TWICE and the monster rookie group ITZY come to mind. But did you know that JYP has always had a knack for creating successful girl groups? That's right. Today we'll be delving into the group Miss A and finding out just what happened to them. So for those of you who don't know, Miss A was a South Korean girl group formed under the label JYP Entertainment. The group made their first appearances in Chinese variety shows, performing dance routines and songs as the Chinese Wonder Girls. Originally, Woo Hirem was a member of Miss A before she was moved into the Korean Wonder Girls in order to replace Sunmi. In March of 2010, a 15-year-old trainee named Bae Suzy joined the group, which then became known officially as Miss A. The group signed with the Samsung Electronics Company in China and released a song for the commercial called Love Again for the Samsung Beat Festival. It was during this music video that a young solo artist and a longtime trainee in America named Lee Min Young made a cameo appearance in the music video. She, along with Suzy and two other young ladies named Faye and Gia, would ultimately come together as the quartet known as Miss A. They made their South Korean debut in July of 2010 with the single Bad Girl, Good Girl. This debut song, taken from their debut single album Bad But Good, would be significant to their career and to K-pop history for many reasons. For one, it landed Miss A first place on the KBS Music Bank, making them the fastest girl group to take the #1 spot on a music show. But there's more. Their debut song hit #1 on the Gaon digital chart, making them the first act ever to have their debut song reach the top of the chart. And finally, Bad Girl, Good Girl also became the best performing single of 2010, beating out top acts in K-pop at the time, including the legendary Girls' Generation. Okay, so Miss A had an amazing debut, but the question is, was Miss A truly talented, or was it all just beginner's luck? Miss A quickly answered that question after the release of their debut studio album in 2011 called A-Class. A-Class would go on to produce two more #1 chart-topping songs, including Goodbye Baby and Love Alone. In 2012, their follow-up extended plays Touch and Independent Women Part 3 garnered positive attention. And in 2013, their second studio album Hush, featuring the lead single by the same name, was very well received by the public and critics alike. In fact, to this day, nearly 7 years later, Hush is still one of the most covered songs on numerous occasions by girl groups and even boy groups alike, and also on survival reality shows. So clearly Miss A came out of the gates running. With their unique visuals, their power vocals, their unmatched harmonies, their strong dance line, and their charisma, it was clear that these girls were not only the real deal, but the complete package. They started off so strong and so promising. But why aren't they around today, while groups several years older than them, like Girls' Generation, are technically still active? It's clear that the girls of Miss A possess what it took to dominate the industry. So what happened to them? Well, sadly, after their second album, just as their momentum was picking up and they were garnering public interest and breaking records, the group's success would be stunted by a year-long hiatus. This lasted until the release of their third extended play called Colors in 2015, and that would go on to become their last release. Following the end of the Colors promotions, Miss A became inactive indefinitely. In 2016, member Gia left the group and went back to China to pursue a solo music career. She's even ended up collaborating with GOT7's Jackson Wang. At the end of her contract, member Min left the group in November of 2017, and she has gone on to sign with a new agency and has begun starring in musicals. And in December of 2017, JYP officially announced that the group had disbanded. Member Faye, who had made her solo singing debut in 2016 with the single Fantasy, which Billboard magazine critics named one of the 20 best K-pop songs of 2016, remained under JYP until her contract expired in 2018. She then went on to sign with a Chinese agency to continue her solo career in China. And so we are left with Suzy. Now, Suzy has arguably had one of the most successful solo careers in K-pop, period. From the beginning of her debut in Miss A, Suzy was garnering a whole lot of attention for her stunning visuals. And it was those visuals that would create so many opportunities for her to host award shows, try her hand at acting in a variety of movie roles, and she too became a solo artist. Her pre-release single Pretend was released in January of 2017 and achieved an all-kill on music charts. Her fast success as a solo act might explain why she renewed her contract in 2017 with JYP, but ultimately she left the company in 2019 when that contract expired. Since then, she has now signed with an acting agency, and she continues to book great acting gigs to this day. It's worth noting that Suzy also became one of the most in-demand endorsers in South Korea. She's even been hailed the CF Queen due to her numerous endorsement deals. She's advertised anything from makeup to clothes to even sugar. So you can only imagine that she's turned quite a nice profit from her career over the years. So that is the story of Miss A. It's a shame, really, that a hiatus and a lack of promotions can kill the momentum of an otherwise successful group. Sadly, this isn't new in the K-pop world. At the very least, these four ladies have solidified themselves as one of the best K-pop girl group acts of all time. But just between you and me, Miss A kind of came off as a girl group that didn't quite fit the mold. They could be sexy, but that wasn't their genre. They weren't aegyo, but they did possess a unique and even quirky charm, and their mature looks set them apart as well. It's our theory that perhaps they were so unique that JYP simply didn't know what to do with a girl group like this, and so he shelved them in favor of a girl group with a concept that was more familiar to the mainstream and probably more marketable. Hence the birth of Twice in the exact same year that Miss A's permanent hiatus began. What do you think of Miss A? Were you ever a fan? Do you miss them? Tell us if you still stream their music to this day. And if you've never listened to them before, does this video make you want to give them a chance? We hope it does, and we highly recommend checking them out because Bad Girl Good Girl still slaps. Hush is still one of the most iconic songs in K-pop. You gotta check it out if you've never heard it before. And yeah, if you enjoy this blast from the past style video and you want to see us cover more groups, make sure to encourage us by going ahead, giving this video a like, subscribing, and maybe telling us who you want to hear about next. Till next time, we'll see you in the next one. Ciao.